Hi, I'm Alexa, and I'm going to be talking about how I am going to use my personal virtues in order to integrate them into the classroom to create a healthy, multicultural environment where all my students feel safe. Four virtues that I feel like I personally possess would be reflection, teamwork, open mindedness, and culturalism. I feel like these are really important to obtain because it really gets you to kind of push outside of your comfort zone and recognize, or at least I feel that my life isn't the only life. My lifestyle, my culture, my values, my beliefs. There aren't 8 million other Alexas out there. There are so many other people out there with different type of values and beliefs that are personal and important to them. And I think that having an open mind and recognizing that is it makes things a lot easier in life, and those can be really valuable virtues to have in the classroom if you're trying to develop a multicultural environment for students. So with that being said, the two virtues that I believe I possess the most would have to be teamwork and open-mindedness. I feel like these are so important to have in the classroom, especially to be a role model with these virtues, because this teaches kids to kind of adapt and learn how to develop skill sets that will take them further beyond the classroom. I think that teamwork is also important for them to get to know one another and learn more about each other's backgrounds, values, their cultural structure in life. So I just feel like teamwork is a good way to get students to collab and work together on those things. And open-mindedness is another virtue I think that is really important to have in the classroom as well. Not only to teach students about being open to others, again, values and cultures, but also to just be open that other students make mistakes. There can be misunderstandings, miscommunications, that we should all really have an open mind to one another. And just know that we are all human. So I think that those two virtues are so important to have and to embrace and embody as an educator in the classroom. Okay, so I feel like these align with the quote, the Imago Dei quote, because again, it just teaches students that those around them in the classroom, they're unique in their own way. Not all students are the same. The way they learn, they absorb knowledge, how they express themselves, it's all so different. They're all unique. So I think that, these virtues and really tie into that quote for that reason, is it really teaches, that quote, implies that God has created everybody in his own image and that we are all special in our own way, that is how he created us. So I feel like these virtues and implementing them in the classroom teaches students that, hey, this student is unique as you are unique too. And, how they intake information or how they express themselves may be different than you, and that is okay. So to create that is such a high value to me if I want to become the best multicultural educator I can be. And what is character formation to me? I believe that is how a child is growing up, how they are developing their own worldview in their minds. So when they're growing up, their environment, the people around them, they're shaping their values, their attitudes, and their beliefs. And I read that there is a process that children will go through as they're growing. It's a 5-step process. So it starts off with pre-encounter, encounter, immersion, internalization, and commitment. And these stages children will go through in life, and they will start to change their perception on their culture and their values based upon, what is happening throughout those developmental stages. So that is really important to be mindful of, that we are teaching the youth and that they are going through this process as well. So how we shape that and the environment we create is very important. So 2 strategies I will use as an educator to foster character development will definitely be, 1, real world scenarios. I'm really big on role play. I think that that's a huge thing to implement to really get students to, place themselves in a scenario of somebody else or another student that is not in their shoes. So I think that really opens up their minds and gets them in that real life scenario. I think another strategy I would definitely use, considering I am majoring in English, is the use of literature. I would love to have an own little library book nook section where any student at all feels and they know that they can go up to my library and select a book that they have choices to choose from. That is so important to me. To have for them. And also I think self-reflection journals are another great way for students to get to know themselves better and their worldview and their culture, and maybe students of another. How this can be done naturally, I believe, I think something I've come up with as well is I know that growing up, and it's normal for students to always try to choose the same friend or group when it comes to group work. I feel like a good way to kind of collaborate, teamwork, and open-mindedness is trying to get students to group with different friends that they normally wouldn't group with, is a kind of natural way to get them to start, speaking and maybe befriending other students that they wouldn't have considered before. I also think that how I show up every day and treat my students is a natural way to integrate what I'm trying to in the classroom to create that safe environment. With that being said, a couple tools that I feel like I will use to help me further my journey as a multicultural educator. I read up on this great website called Teacher Vision. It's specifically for first-time teachers, and they have great lesson plans on there and advice for first-time teachers, and certain tools and resources on how to grow multiculturally as well. I also think that keeping just up to date, just with our times, the news, social media, also seeing how many resources I can personally gather online would really be helpful. Just always being in the know and being aware is really going to help. So thank you for listening. I hope to see you again. Thank you.